Put your hands up if you have bought food in a halal restaurant. Or
I always buy.
Right. I've stopped doing it. So should all of you. Right?
I've just realised something. Are you saying then that...
Use the fullness of the law to resist Islamization.
I think I understand what you're saying, because I'm thinking of something else. But are you saying that some of the money, which is the proceeds of the food, could be going to sponsor, like,
Islamization,
slave trade and other things that is going on in those regions of the world?
Any Muslim business, any Muslim business owner worth his salt, right, worth his prayer mat, is going to take a percentage of his earnings and give it in zakat.
Zakat, yes. Sir.
Right. Zakat is a compulsory tax. It's a redistributive tax that can only go to Muslims. Doesn't go to Christians in need.
Not Jews.
Not Jews in need. Not atheists in need. Only Muslims can receive zakat. Right? But that zakat can be given towards dawah, which is Islamization. It's towards making converts. So if you're a Christian and you're supporting a Muslim business, you're contributing to zakat. And that zakat is working against the church. So you should stop doing it. Right? That's working within the law. You can use the law to stop building mosques. You can use the law to change the law so that you can do more within the law to prevent Islamization. And that is what a muscular Christianity would do, can do, and should do. But a liberal secularist will never do that because it contradicts the tenets of liberal secularism.
You see, I was thinking also because, like, when we say about helping Muslims, and, I have many Muslim friends and stuff like that, but I'm not seeing where the help has been pushed towards the black slaves in Mauritania, Libya, Sudan, all of these regions. So it seems like it's going more towards a kind of more Middle Eastern route. But it's kind of escaping the blacks. And it always seems like, I've noticed even you made a point about the hadiths one time. Anytime it's something concerning a black person, they have to mention it. That he's black. And what's the need of that? So even when you look even within the religion, it's not helping all Muslims. It's helping mainly those of the Middle East.
Well, the thing is, Islam has no reason to work against its own slave trade because it's Islamic. The only people that are going into the Islamic world and setting black slaves free are Christian missionaries.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
Christian missionaries are the only people doing it. Black Christian missionaries, white Christian missionaries, Korean Christian missionaries. They're going into the Muslim slave markets and they're buying black slaves, Muslim black slaves and Christian black slaves and animist black slaves, and they're setting them free. They don't just set them free, they try to teach them a trade. They try to give them a job.
You're saying that it's actually a lot better than what they were in before, but I had seen some people trying to justify it and say, oh, well, the slavery isn't like that of the slavery you think it is. It's not of the white slavery, it's not of this slavery. It's like, come on, you're raping the woman. I've seen people being led in chain. What type of slavery are we, it's
I mean, anyone who's trying to, no one should receive our patience or tolerance who's trying to defend the slave trade. Right? And unfortunately, we've got lots of Muslims in this corner on camera defending the slave trade.
They've been justifying it. I've seen it.
Right? Our society is better off without these people. I am an advocate that we should change the law through legal means so that anyone who is advocating for the slave trade should lose, or therefore Sharia law, should lose their access to state institutions. If they're an immigrant here, they should lose their citizenship. And they should be removed from the country. Our country will be better off if we don't tolerate people who justify the slave trade, who justify child marriage, who justify religious prejudice, who justify apostasy laws, who justify, the kind of bigotry that we're seeing within the Islamic world. we can do better as a society if we're actually less liberal, less tolerant, and tackle these people.
So
but we need to do with it
with an iron fist.
Yes, absolutely. Right. If you look at societies that have suppressed successfully Islamist movements, and Britain is not an example of that, we are a net exporter of Islamic terrorism. We're a net exporter. Muslim countries like Syria and Iraq have suffered because of the terrorism that we've exported. Nigeria has suffered because of the terrorism that the UK has exported. Somalia has suffered because of the terrorism that we have exported. Wait, but you look at societies that have successfully suppressed Islamists, and they do it by an iron fist.
And they seem to be coming up in the world. Because some Iranians that I followed, again, there's a guy, Yunus Rocks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know of him. He's saying that, I can't remember, about 40 years ago or so,
yeah,
Iran was one of the top 5 countries in the world, or like very visited.
Yeah.
Right now they're about 115 in the world.
Yeah.
So it's just sunk right down.
You look at
Even Afghanistan was up there at some point.
You look at Iran before the Islamic Revolution, right? Iran was a beautiful country.
Yeah, lovely, amazing.
The people of Iran were a beautiful people, and they still are.
Yes.
But they still are because they've rejected the Islamic Revolution. Yeah? Right? It's all right. They just need to shout at Deus Vult, right? Right? But the point is, they don't do that to me anymore because I just take the piss out of them, right? But the point is, you look at Afghanistan before the communist invasion, and you compare the position of women then to the position of women now.
It's terrible.
It's a complete contrast.
It's terrible.
The reality is that Islam leads to the suppression of rights, of minorities, of women, wherever it dominates. And Christianity is a better system precisely because its system of law is better. Its understanding of law is better. Its understanding of lawfare is better. It starts off with a single premise, that we all have equal dignity because we're all made in the image of God, and you have that regardless of your religion or race. So before you're a Christian, you have the image of God. Before you are black or white, you have the image of God. And on that basis, we build an equality in law and seek an equality in law. During the Crusader states, for example, 30% of the population of the Crusader states were Muslims, right? 30%. There were no problems, even though 30% were Muslim, there were no problems. But Muslim travelers commentated that Muslims inside the Crusader states were better treated by their Christian lords than the Muslims were treated by their Muslim caliphs.
So you're saying that Muslims were treated better
in the Christian Crusader states
by their own
yes,
Muslim,
by their own, and that's not my commentary. That's the commentary of Muslim travelers. There's a particular
Muslims themselves.
A Muslim traveler who went on Hajj and passed through the Crusader states. Please note, he passed through the Crusader states on his way to Hajj. Commented on this himself. I forget his name, but there is, but yeah, I can find his name if you need it.
You know what? I would like to take your contact after, and if you could share this information.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm going to leave the floor to someone else.
Okay.
For a discussion.
It was really lovely talking to you.
It was a really good discussion.
Get in touch with me.
100%.
Right, I always give a gift to people.
I know, I've seen the videos. You always give.
I always give the gift.
I've seen the videos.
I'm guessing you've got a Bible.
Yes, I've got a Bible.
Right. Well, this is not a Bible then. This is a book.
Okay.
And it's a book about, you know, how it's basically a saint and the life of a saint.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, let me give you a different book. Sorry, I'll swap you. Have that one. I'll take that one.
I was very interested in this book.
All right, you have that one then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Take
God
care.
bless. Take care.